Okay, our tapes are on. Hang on, let's just make sure this goes. There we go.
Nice.
I waited too long, that's why.
This meeting is being held in conformance with the Sunshine Law. Notice of time, date, and place has been furnished to the Bergen Record and the Ridgewood News. Notice has also been posted on the bulletin board of the administration building. Will the clerk kindly take the roll?
Mayor Giordano?
Here.
Mr. Brennick?
Here.
Ms. Saracola?
Here.
Mr. Martinello?
Here.
Mr. Ramundo?
Here.
Mr. Ritchie?
Here.
Mrs. Weber?
Here.
Everyone kindly stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us have a moment of silence for all our Waldeck veterans and all veterans across our country who have given the ultimate sacrifice to serving our armed forces to keep us free so that we could assemble the way we are today. Would the clerk please do the prayer?
We thank you for everyone gathered here now. Thank you that you know each of us by name and have caused us to walk with you. We say that we are dependent on you and our trust is in you completely. As we surrender ourselves in adoration, we ask that you would come by your Holy Spirit and inspire our hearts today. Come fill our lives with your love, fill our conversations with your grace and truth, fill this meeting with your presence. We ask this for your glory and praise. Amen.
Amen. This year, the mayor and council hosted the third annual May holiday house decorating contest. 14 people put in their applications to have their home judged. And out of the 14 people, 3 were selected. And tonight, we're honoring 3 of the residents whose houses won the competition. We hope that maybe next year, instead of having 14, we might have more. And that's up to the residents of the borough to decide if they want to participate in the holiday house decorating contest. We will start with the most outlandish house, which was 65 William Street, Jason Bernowski. Please come up. Second year in a row, most creative, 23 Frederick Street, the Moses family. And best overall, 58 Smithfield Road, Amanda and Jordan Perez. Our clerk will pull them up and they'll come and pick up their gift certificate and their certificate.
Thank you.
And my report will just be very simple. What we've been doing is we've been bringing the town together for 2024. We have a lot of new council people on the council, and together we'll be starting to work on our budget so that we will have our budgets in place during the right time. In the meantime, we've had our reorg meeting of the planning board, of the zoning board, and all our boards now are coming together for 2024. So I have to report. Financial Administrative Committee, Mr. Ritchie.
Thank you, Mayor. So another short report. As you mentioned, we're working on the budget. I met with Colleen and Steve last week to kind of review some preliminary thoughts. Finance Committee is meeting this week, and I believe we're having our first budget meeting a week from today, if I'm not mistaken. So the budget process is ongoing, and as it comes together, we'll make sure to keep you in the loop. Thank you very much.
Yes. Everyone on the council, if you don't mind, please speak into the microphone so that people in the back of the room can hear you. Thank you. Fire and Police Protection Committee, Mr. Brennan.
Good evening. I hate to do this as I'm first meeting back,
but I need to ask your indulgence and apologize. The family had a medical issue that had to be addressed immediately. And as a result, I really haven't had the focus on getting together with my department heads. My plan was to meet with the folks already so that we could have an ongoing rapport. They would know what I would expect from them and they from me. Unfortunately, that didn't happen yet, but I assure you that by the next time we convene, that will have taken place and we will start to work on 2024.
Okay, thank you. Public Safety Committee, Ms. Iacocca.
Thank you, Mayor. I attended the ambulance, I don't know if my mic's working, but it is. Okay. I attended the Ambulance Corps monthly meeting held on January 15th. It was great to meet everyone. President John Papendick ran the meeting and they discussed many important topics, including training, standing committee appointments, high school outreach, and much more. I also want to mention that on January 17th, Wallback members Adrian Domorodsky, Jake Skro, and Ashley Statuto responded to a CPR in progress. Officer Crone, Freeman, Garcia, and Passeretti were also present along with the Valley paramedics. Multiple AED shocks were administered. Our new Lucas machine was utilized to perform continuous CPR compressions. The patient is still being treated at Valley, and incident and patient specifics are omitted due to HIPAA. Finally, the Ambulance Corps has gone on 30 runs in January through January 22nd. For 21 of those runs, the unit arrived on scene in under 5 minutes, and for 7 runs in under 10 minutes. Their busiest days were Saturday and Sunday. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Recreation and Health Committee, Mr. Montanello.
Thank you. On January 18th, I attended the Board of Health meeting. The existing board was re-elected for 2024, including President Kathy Silverhouse and Vice President Donna Palladino. New meeting schedule was set and we published to meet quarterly in 2024. We reviewed the activity reports for November and December. During that time, COVID-19 hospitalizations were in a low status in Bergen County. After the holidays, they noticed that it's risen to a high number in Bergen County. So they're continuing to monitor that. Influenza and RSV cases continue to be high around the state. They had a rabies clinic. Only 16 animals were brought in for shots. Participation was down. So the team was looking at ways to better advertise next time to hopefully increase the number of animals who come for the rabies vaccination. Also, the contract for Northwest Bergen County Health Commission was approved for 2024. On the recreation front, I attended the Walden Baseball and Softball meeting on January 17th. After 35 years, Mark DeMena has stepped down as long-term president of the association. We all thanked him for his service, and Troy Seifert will be the new president of the association. Registration is now open for Walden Baseball and Softball. We have programs from pre-K through 8th grade. Flyer has been sent out through the community links, and it's posted on the borough website. Opening day is scheduled for April 27th. Hopefully, the mayor has his pitching arm ready. And then lacrosse, Walden boys and girls participate in a co-op program with Allendale, Hohokus, Midland Park, Saddle River, and Upper Saddle River. Met with the president of that organization. He wanted to let us know that registration is open and a flyer is posted in the community announcements for the borough website. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Public Works Committee, Mr. Raimondo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I was fortunate enough to meet with the DPW earlier in the month. Met with Mike Latour. He's the point-on person, and we went over a lot of the things that the DPW is responsible for. All the department heads, the water. Met the DPW team, the entire team. They held everybody back so that I could actually meet everybody individually. We also went over recycling, work allocation, and some of the start times. They had 3 incidents this month with regards to snow removal, all of which were flawless. Feedback I got from most residents was that the blacktop was there when they left early in the morning to go to work. Can't ask for more than that. So sent out some notes to him and thanked him and his team for that work. Also started discussions regarding shared services and the outsourced services and the preventative maintenance and equipment maintenance schedule. That's all.
Thank you very much. Building and Grounds Committee, Mrs. Weber.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We're currently working on a 2024 project list for the capital budget. Focus will be on critical infrastructure, facility maintenance, and improvements to parks and buildings. Renovation to the second floor of the municipal building here for the Northwest Bergen Regional Health Commission to move in, and the wall back, bathroom and kitchen renovations are going out to bid over the next few weeks. Our largest project going right now is the well upgrades for the PFAS. That's currently underway and on schedule. We did have a little bit of a setback with the charging stations that are being installed here at the municipal parking lot. They will be a bit delayed, but I'll keep you up to date on that. That's all I have.
Thank you. Department heads. Borough Administrator, Stephen.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple things. The assessment program has completed, and every property owner in the borough should have received their letter earlier this week. We know there's probably a lot of questions, and there's some people in the audience who are here for that. We're more than happy to answer some general questions towards the end in public comment. But really, if you have specific questions about your rate or anything about the inspections, you call for an inspection if you didn't let them in the first time. You really need to reach out to Appraisal Systems, Inc. to schedule that. We have in-person hearings beginning tomorrow. All the in-person meetings are going to be held up here in the council chambers. Throughout the day, we'll also schedule some evening and weekend hours. So definitely check the contact info on that letter of this state. You can schedule by calling 201-493-8530 Monday through Friday between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. within 5 business days of your letter, or you can schedule anytime online 7 days a week at asinj.com/scheduling.htm. That's also posted to our website, and you can feel free to reach out to my office and we'll give you the same info. Budget, as Councilman Ritchie mentioned, we've had a couple meetings. We are scheduled to have our capital budget discussion, special meeting next Tuesday, January 30th. That's a 6:30 p.m. start. And we are scheduled to have our operating budget discussion on Saturday, February 3rd, and that starts at 8:30 a.m. if you want to attend those sessions. We're also aware of a lot of water and flooding issues throughout the borough. We've tried to address as many as we can. If you haven't called and you have an issue, please reach out. We'd be more than happy to come out and meet with residents one-on-one and go over the situation. There's a lot of issues around town, so it's not unique to one set of streets. We're trying to address it as we can. We were made aware of issues on Scott Street, on McKay, and we've addressed those with residents, and we have some plans in place. I can see some of the residents here tonight. So we'd be happy to follow up with you. So please, if you haven't reported anything and you have an ongoing issue, just let us know so we can kind of put it on our list, and we'll try and address it as best we can. The home improvement program flyers are updated and they're posted on the website now. We share them out on our communications channels, and we'll have copies available downstairs in the lobby and at the library. We have a resolution on for the hiring of a new DPW laborer 1 to start in our DPW this week, actually, if it's approved. So we're excited about that, to have a new position filled. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Borough Clerk, Kelly.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to call attention to Resolution 2024-57, which is, we're amending a resolution from 2023 for the Bergen County Community Development Regional Committees. Mr. Shalera sat on that committee, and with his resignation, the mayor needed to appoint new members. So that's for 2023. And while we were at it, they asked us to go ahead and do the fiscal year 24 covering period July 1 to 2024 through June 30th of 2025, and that's Resolution 2024-58. Also today, Colleen gave me an update to Resolution 2024-68. That's authorizing a refund of a permit fee for 19 West Prospect. The amount is $140. It's allocated a bit differently, so that resolution has been updated. So I wanted to make you aware of that. Also, with regards to the calendars, the digital version is available on our website. We really can't stress enough for residents to take the time to read the information contained in the calendar, because it's up to date, it's accurate, and it will help you to do a multitude of things. With elections, now I'm going to elections. We have a very big year ahead of us with the presidential and the county committee elections, which will be discussed at the Bergen County election with the Bergen County election officials at our annual meeting February 22nd. Just a quick note, April 10th is the deadline to change your party political affiliation declaration forms. We have those forms on our website. Dog licensing is ongoing. The late fee goes into effect on March 1st. We have so far issued 333 licenses. Anybody who is looking for a rabies clinic, we have some upcoming. Hohokus is February 15th. Wyckoff is March 16th. Ridgewood is May 8th, and Midland Park is May 13th. We have a flyer that Steve has been posting. It's also on our website. So if you are in need of a vaccine, there are clinics around. And a reminder for anyone who was, Tatiana called, that their dog license is ready. They can come in and pick those dog tags up. I want to thank the residents who have donated to downstairs. We have an overflowing barrel and stuff on benches and on the ground, and it's so great that people have are willing to help those in need. So this first batch of donations are going to the Center for Food Action, and then once it's emptied, when hopefully we can fill it up again, it'll go for Families for Families, and this is going to be an ongoing donation drive for the year, and we'll just alternate between those two venues. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Grant Administrator Matthew.
Thank you, Mayor. Generally, at this meeting in past years, there would be a dozen or so resolutions awarding non-fair and open contracts to various vendors. Last year, the state waived the requirement of that to be done by resolution, and the council gave me the authority as the purchasing agent to handle those contracts myself. So if any member of council or public wants to know which vendors have been awarded these contracts, I'd be happy to share. Some examples would be our chemical company for the pool, our water testing company, Home Hardware, but all paperwork has been collected as needed to make sure we're following the law. Councilwoman Weber touched on the two bids that we're advertising this week, so good to see those two projects moving forward. Additionally, we're accepting tonight $89,000 from the county open space grant for improvements to Lions Park. We've already received $70,000 from the 2003 DCA recreation grant, and we're authorizing another application for the 2024 recreation grant for the same project. Steve, myself, Mike Latour, and Jim McGinnis, our engineer, met today to discuss these and other projects, and we think a tentative goal will be to have Lions Playground fully redone by Memorial Day of next year. And that's all from me.
Thank you. Captain Fina, covering for Borough Attorney Craig.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I have nothing to report.
No, we're not going to close tonight or anything?
No.
No. Okay, thank you. Consent resolutions and resolutions of the governing body.
Be it resolved that the following resolutions herewith listed by consent, having been considered by the governing body of the Borough of Waldock, are hereby passed and approved. 2024-55, approval of consent. 2024-56, approval of minutes, recess December 12, 2023, regular meeting held January 6, 2024, and the reorganization meeting held January 6, 2024. Policy votes. A. Ashley Basul requests to use Pavilion A on April 13th from 12 to 5 for a birthday party with alcoholic beverages being served. B. Mark Goodell requests to use Pavilion B on July 13th from 12 p.m. to dusk for a gathering with alcoholic beverages being served. C. Nora and Dennis Smith request to use Pavilion A on July 20th from 12 p.m. to dusk for a birthday party with alcoholic beverages being served. D. Waldwick Pistol and Rifle Club requests to use Pavilion A on September 8th from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. for the annual picnic with alcoholic beverages being served. E. Arthur Bartold and the Waldwick High School class of 1974 request to use Pavilion A on September 21st from 12 p.m. to dusk for the 50th class reunion with alcoholic beverages being served. F. The Village School requests to use the Oval on June 12th from 12 to 1 for their 8 graduates to gather for yearbook signing. 2024-57, amend Resolution 2023-208, authorizing the annual appointment of the municipal representatives to the Bergen County Community Development Regional Committees for the fiscal year 23-24. 2024-58, authorize annual appointment of the municipal representatives to the Bergen County Community Development Regional Committees fiscal year 24, covering period July 1, 2024 through June 30th, 2025. 2024-59, authorizing application to the 2024 DCA Local Recreation Improvement Grant, 2024-60, authorizing acceptance of the 2023 Bergen County Open Space Trust Fund Municipal Program Grant for municipal park improvements, Borough Park, ADA accessible playground, fencing, pavers, and benches. 2024-61, award a fair and open-ended contract with Rachel's and Michelle's Oil Company, Inc. in the amount not to exceed $150,000. 2024-62, award a non-fair and open professional service contract for risk manager for Frank Cavelli of Professional Insurance Associates. 2024-63, authorize advertisement and receipt of bids for interior renovations to the Waldeck Volunteer Ambulance Corps. 2024-64, authorize advertisement and receipt of bids for the Borough of Waldeck Administration Building second floor interior renovations. 2024-65, appointment of Laborer 1 Harrison Linarts. 2024-66, adoption of the 2024 Council Manual. 2024-67, authorize refund of permit fee to 36-4 Tamaron Drive, and 2024-68, authorized refund of permit fee for 19 West Prospect Street. 2024-69, senior citizen deduction refund. 2024-70, redemption of tax title lien 23-00632, and 2024-71, payment of vouchers.
Do we have a motion and a second to accept? Motion by Mark Raimondo, second by Joe. Anyone have a question? Well, I have a couple of things I just want to touch base on. 2024-64, you've been hearing everyone talk about the administration building second floor interior alteration. You come out of the doorway over here, right across the hall. The whole length of the building has storage that we've had for years. What we've decided to do is cut the storage out, and we are renting the area. We're redoing it, and we're renting it to the Board of Health, which is on Prospect Street, right next door to Amsterdam. They will be coming into this area, they will be paying us rent, and they will be here in our building serving the residents of the borough. Also, the 2024-67, which is authorized refund of a permit. In Tamaron now, residents are allowed to enclose their patios. So what happened is, with the approval, of course, from the building department, this resident decided to enclose it, but when they started to do the work, they realized that there was too much water in that area, that they would have to go down too deep to remove the water. So they decided that they did not want to do the project. So the building department refunded their money because they really didn't do much, just give them a permit to put on their window. Anyone else? Clerk, please take the roll.
Mr. Brennick?
Yes.
Ms. Saracola?
Yes.
Mr. Martinello?
Yes.
Mr. Raimondo?
Yes.
Mr. Ritchie?
Yes.
Mrs. Weber?
Yes.
Okay, introduction of ordinances. Would the clerk kindly read ordinance number 2024-01?
Ordinance number 2024-01, an ordinance amending ordinance number 2020-01 to add section 10-6 beautification subcommittee duties and responsibilities and renumber remaining sections accordingly.
A motion and a second is in order to pass this ordinance on first reading, and that it will be advertised in local legal newspapers as required by law, setting a public hearing 2 weeks from tonight's meeting at 7:30 p.m. or soon thereafter as the matter may be reached. Do I have a motion and a second? Motion by Mike, second by Michelle. Anyone have a question? What we're really doing with this is we have a beautification committee, we have a environmental committee, we have a green team. Beautification committee is not really formalized. It was just a committee that was set up. What we are now doing is we're formalizing the committee to be part of the be part of the environmental and be part of the green team. So now when the beautification committee is out there beautifying our community, they will have the environmental committee working with them, and they will have the green team, and vice versa. So it's going to be one committee doing everything. People will be saying the same. There's going to be no change, no movement. It's just going to be a bigger group of people working for the better of the community. And we felt will be a better thing to do. There'll be more money being given out to the beautification committee so that they could continue to do their work that they've been doing for the last couple of years, which was a great asset to our borough. Anyone else? Clerk, please take the roll.
Mr. Brennick?
Yes.
Ms. Saracola?
Yes.
Mr. Martinello?
Yes.
Mr. Raimondo?
Yes.
Mr. Ritchie?
Yes.
Mrs. Weber?
Yes.
Okay, anyone from the council have any unfinished business? What? Anybody from the council have new business?
Don't we get to comment on this one?
In 2
No.
weeks.
It's an introduction.
It's an introduction to the ordinance. In 2 weeks you have a right to. You can come and say something, but we're gonna talk about it at the meeting in 2 weeks. Anyone else? Clerk, please take the roll.
I did that already.
Oh, okay. Anybody, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Any other new business? Nope. Public comments. Anybody from public would like to comment, please come to the microphone. Just state your name, please do not give us your address. And if you don't mind, could you just turn the microphone?
I was gonna say, I'm gonna address the audience.
No, yeah, I
I'm
forgot-
not running for mayor
I
tonight.
forgot to turn around. I forgot to turn it around. You done good, thank you.
Can you hear me?
You can talk, yeah.
Ken Gemelli, 30.
No. Just your address, just your name.
Ken Gemelli. I'm a 32-year resident of Walwood. My first council meeting, and you can consider my all previous administrations being supportive. I have nothing to complain about. So thank you, both past and present members. I'm here today to back up Stephen, hopefully, if I'm not saying this correctly, or I'm not portraying it. But the water situation that we have on Scott Street is pretty severe. Again, I'm a 32-year resident, along with the Casey family and the Sterner family. I'm actually considered a newbie in Walwood, so there's a lot of history on the block. Something severe has happened here, and it's nothing I think the town did. It's nothing the residents have done. But since August, we've had this flowing water situation that's ruined our properties. And just to back up Stephen, he gave a very good support, and Mike Latore and DPW came out to support. But something severe has happened, and we really need the town to help us on this. This is something that's way above us, and again, I think this is a Mother Nature issue. But Stephen, I thank you for the report, and I would like to get a video to you. We'll do that offline. Okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you. And just whatever, just getting in contact with Steve, he'll be more than happy to help. He wants to just talk to you a little bit.
Oh, sure.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, just real quick, because we did have a meeting today with our engineer and we discussed, our letter and everything, but just to follow up, we are looking towards this DOT grant, for next year's application to work on Scott Street, which would address a lot of the drainage issues. So just wanted to provide you that update. I think we mentioned it, but we're starting to formalize some of those plans now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else? Does she want to sit down? She can sit down.
Let's just get one spaghetti.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I'm an over 50-year resident of Walwood, and I know a lot of your faces.
Could we just ask you for your name, please?
Oh, Virginia Casey. I'm addressing the Scott Street, this is moving. I am a fall risk, I'm 81. You can see I'm in a back brace, I have broken vertebrae. To go down my driveway, to walk the dog for my grandchildren, I have to grab onto the telephone pole that's at the bottom, and the ice just melted today, and I have to jump over the puddles. There's running water, moving running water. This just started, as Ken said, in August, September. I have pictures of it. Now, 30 years ago, and I have the records at home, we had a water problem in the back. I have an easement across the backyard. And they never maintained it, but they did come then, they put a camera down and they put new piping. I think something happened. A pipe must have broken. I mean, I'm there all these years living, I would know. But I am a fall risk, and if something happens to me, I'm afraid that's the end. And if a neighbor walks on it, or people walk their dog there, so I asked the town, they loaned me some cones. So I now have 2 cones on one end, 2 cones on the other end. There's scum, algae, all kinds of sludge flowing there. I think it's a health hazard. And honestly, I think you have to get the root of the problem. I think you're just putting Band-Aids on it with that proposal that I got. I don't think that gets to the problem. Don't set cameras and go into the pipes and see what's going on?
Did you ever look into the backyard?
Yeah, just follow up on that. So we have had our leak detection company has been out. We have cambered the lines. There doesn't appear to be any breaks or anything in the lines. And there is no leaking pipe that has, been detected. They've actually been out a couple of times to look at it.
Was Scott Street built on wetlands, on a swamp? This is what I hear, maybe.
Well, that I can't speak to. We'd have to look at that, but it is in a very low-lying area, so the water table is very high there. Unfortunately, we've had so much rain and so much water, it just has never had a chance to go fully down. I think that's part of the problem. But yeah, we're doing everything we can. We are going to investigate. We're going to work on the swale in the back along the easement.
I don't think that's the problem. I really don't. I mean, the engineers were out once, I know. I don't know since then. But I think you have to get the root of the problem, not just Band-Aids.
That's absolutely what we're trying to do.
Okay.
I can assure you.
Hopefully nothing happens bad to anybody before that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Joseph Mikhail. I live down.
No, we don't need your address, but thank you.
I live on Hudson Avenue. Recently, I'd say in the past 3 months ago, I guess it was, my wife was walking down that way. She tripped in the pothole down there. And she bruised her hip, a sprained wrist, ankle. And what happens is it kind of keeps on coming back and putting the cat on back down, which makes it worse, I think, because after 2 or 3 weeks, the holes get bigger, they get wider and deeper. And right now, there's one hole down there, I think it's about 4 inches deep, maybe 5, and it's filled with water. And I'm just wondering, is putting Band-Aids on this is not working. Is there anything we can possibly do to get this thing rectified and completed this year or next year? I mean, I've been there 47 years, and they came down my street once in 47 years to pave it. So, does anybody have an answer to this?
Just to clarify, this was Hudson Street, you said?
Hudson Avenue.
Yeah, so actually Hudson and Bond are scheduled for reconstruction this year.
We're on Hudson.
I'd have to check.
There's 2 Hudson Avenues, so I'm trying to first we know which one you're on. There's 2 Hudson Avenues within the borough.
That's right.
So which, don't need your exact address, but which Hudson Avenue?
We're on the south. On the cul-de-sac, where the cul-de-sac is.
We're a train station, near the dead end.
Southbound side of 17, Hudson Avenue.
Okay. Yeah, let's touch base afterwards, and I'll talk to you about that. Just so we get a little more information.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Chris Feldman, I also live on Hudson Avenue on the southbound side of Route 17. And I would just like to echo what Mr. Mikhail said, and another resident that will probably come up after me and share pictures of the street, that we have now been up here 3 years in a row before you guys settle your budget. And last year, you gave us a verbal commit that you were going to pay Hudson Avenue. And you came down and you looked at it with all the cracks and the divots and everything else, and yet to no avail. So I appreciate what you're saying, that we're on the agenda for this year, but I have to tell you that I'm disappointed that the request has not been met. So I would also like some form of either a written letter or a guarantee based on the taxes we pay in this town and what we're committed to when we moved in me in 2002. And road has not been paved over 33 years. And last year, you told me that the shelf life of the road is only 25 years. And when I shared this with all of you last year, I have gone back and pointed to other streets in this town that have been paved twice in that time period since I've lived here, since 2002. So I do think that it's time for the town to step up and take care of their residents, especially when you've given a verbal commitment that this is something you can follow through with. It's disappointing that I have to come in and actually have this conversation, but we have a neighbor that has fallen. I twist my ankle because I have to walk out to Route 17 to get the bus at 5 o'clock a.m. so the sun isn't up. And there are a lot of divots in the street. When we have children on the street that skateboard, that ride their bikes, what have you. And I think it's time that that street gets the attention it deserves.
Sir, while you're speaking, I was just checking my email to confirm that was the Hudson Road that's being paved. That is the section being paid. We've awarded a contract. We're hoping to have the pre-con meeting within a month, and the work should be happening, I would say, March or April this year. And that
Now,
contract.
is this going to go all the way down Hudson, all the way back past Richard, or is it just the front end of the cul-de-sac? Because you have come in and made patches, and they just don't hold up with the weather conditions you've been up against in Platte. So I'd be interested to know if you're paving the whole street.
I want to verify to be 100% certain, but I am almost positive it's the entire cul-de-sac. I don't want to say 100%. I don't know 100%, but I can get you that information tomorrow.
Okay. And should I follow up with you, sir?
Myself or Steve, you're more than welcome to.
Excellent. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Erin Burdetta, also on Hudson. I'd like to submit the pictures, that's what we're talking about. I have emailed pictures over the years, haven't been responded to. We were here also last year, and as Chris told me that we spoke over in it. There are lots of children, there are people that walk the bus stop. This is also how people walk from Walbridge to Hoboken, and it's just, at this point, it's dangerous. It's the residents, so my significant pictures.
Sure. And this is definitely the street that we're working on, am I right, Matt?
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Teresa Sherman. Following up to the Scott Street situation with the water, I noticed that Smithfield Road, which is very near Scott Street, some of my neighbors have a huge problem with water running through their property. So much so that they have garbage cans on their sidewalk because the ice is so thick and there's always standing water there. So, perhaps the whole area is experiencing some sort of water flow situation. So maybe Smithfield Road could be looked at the same time as Scott Street. I know that the storm drains were able to take in the water during the last big storm, because that was a big problem in the past where the water came all the way up my driveway, into my garage and into my foyer. But that seems to have been alleviated since we did John Dowd Avenue. But the water on the neighbor's streets, on the neighbor's property is an issue. The other situation that I could see as a problem is before a big storm is predicted, we always get the Nixle alerts. However, the storm drains are always covered in leaves. So I think that's a huge problem with the flooding around town, because the storm drains should be cleaned out on a regular basis. And if you know a big storm is coming through, I don't know why the DPW isn't sent out to empty all the storm drains in the borough before a big storm. The other problem is everybody keeps cutting down trees and no one's replacing them. Trees take in water, and this town used to be full of trees, but everyone is cutting them down and no one is replacing them. I understand trees have a natural life cycle. Most of them are nearing the end of their lives. I've had to take numerous trees down on my property, but people take them down and don't replace trees, and we need trees to absorb water. So perhaps the borough could do a push to get people to plant trees on their property, either helping them pay for them or whatever, not between the curb and the sidewalk. I know that's a problem with these sidewalks lifting and stuff and the plows going around, but perhaps on their property. Some towns have incentives where they help residents pay for the trees or provide trees. Lastly, getting back to ordinance 2024 number 01. I read the ordinance and was quite interested in it. As you know, the beautification committee is a group of volunteers who go out and clean up Waltham. We plant daffodil bulbs, we weed out the Monument Plaza at the Christopher Goodell Public Safety Building. We work there on nearly a monthly basis, filling huge bags of weeds. We plant flowers throughout the borough, impatiens in the spring, mums in the fall. We work at the parks, freshening up the gardens, particularly Carrie's garden at Borough Park. We've done a lot of work over there. We've done a lot of work on Harrison Avenue by what I call Litter Alley, which is on the side of Giant Market. We do a lot of nice work in town, and I have a good group of dedicated volunteers who like to get dirty, like to dig holes, and we have a wonderful time doing it. I read your ordinance, and to me it read like a job description for the DPW. And I found that pretty interesting because to ask volunteers to do some of the things that are on this list is, to me, kind of uncalled for. And I'm just curious, and I'd like all the mayor and council to think about why a governing body feels the need to involve themselves in planting flowers and pulling weeds and overseeing it. And I'm also curious how planting flowers and weeds and cleaning, or cleaning I can see, but planting flowers, how that has anything to do with an environmental. Let's see. When the beautification committee first started, I am the founding member of the beautification committee, and the sole purpose of the committee was to do nice things for the town. It was to make the town look prettier, to encourage perhaps other people to plant flowers and make their property nice. We saw it as, if the town is nice, people will want to visit the town, spend money in the town, shop in the town, go to our parks, move to town. That was our whole, to have a nice urban feel. We had no agenda other than doing nice work for the town. And with this ordinance, you're turning a nice little group of people who just say, hey, Carrie's Garden's looking a little, overrun with weeds. Anyone want to go there on Saturday and clean up? Yeah, great idea. We'll get 10 people over there working. Hey, you want to clean up public safety buildings? It's almost Memorial Day, it looks like hell, let's do some work. Okay, we'll go there and clean. With this job description is, horrendous, to put it mildly. And, I just want the mayor, well, not the mayor, the council to really think about, do they really need to be so involved in the dirt and the pulling of weeds in the town that you feel it's necessary to put this little committee, this little group of volunteers under a environmental committee, which has nothing to do with flowers. And for the record, the mayor mentioned how you would be able to get more people to join the beautification committee if it fell under the environmental committee. When the group was first started, and probably for a year and a half, the emails went to the environmental committee, and no one came. No one came to help. So, as emails would go out, those who responded, those who came, free. Emails go out, people came, people responded, great. This went on and on and on and on. As people never showed an interest in the committee, they were removed from the mailing list. And now we have a group of approximately 24 dedicated people who come nearly every time we have a work day, as we call them. And I would just like the mayor and council to relook at this ordinance and decide if this is really done to align committees, or is it done for spite? Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Al Colvin. First thing I'd like to do is to welcome all the new members starting this year. I wish you all a lot of luck and hope you do as good a job as what is being done here. Speaking of trees, during the year, I saw someone take down 15 live trees, some of them 24 inches around and a half. Now, some towns have ordinance that to take a live tree down, you have to register with the borough. If the tree's dead, of course, you can take it down. But if you want to take down live trees, you should really, I mean, Walbrook used to have a lot of trees, and we still have a lot. So all back to my house with trees. But I believe if people want to take down a lot of trees, they should register so that the town knows how many they've been taking down. Thank you.
Thank you. Hal? Hal?
Just to touch on trees, since it's come up twice now, so the state is actually requiring, they've adopted a model tree ordinance. So actually this year we are gonna have to tackle trees and have that greater discussion on them, just to let you know it is on our minds right now, so.
You heard to see, all them trees were on the road, we're taking them away. I'm not gonna get into it too much, but, they're stripping Walmart the trees. That's not right. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Sergio Sorvino. I'm here to raise the topic of light trespass or light pollution. So just give me a moment to read through the statement. On October 12th, my neighbor installed and turned on a Juvence LED stadium floodlight. The Amazon links my neighbor provided me advertises this product as 36,000 lumen, 1,500 watt, super bright commercial area lighting. For those who are not familiar with lumen, like me, there are approximately 1,500 lumen in a traditional 100 watt light bulb. If you do the math, the stadium light is equivalent to 22 100 watt position. Incandescent light bulb. I texted my neighbor immediately after the light was turned on and asked him to turn it down. The reply was, sorry, I was afraid of that. Shut it down immediately. I had a text conversation with neighbor. Fast forward to a month later, December 16th. My neighbor turned on a replacement for the stadium light. It was the FCYN, super bright, 11,500 lumen outdoor light. The Amazon description for this light states applications for stadiums, sports, courts, parking lots, bridges, billboards, and warehouse streets, and rural areas. The light again was far too bright, illuminating the entire living room. The light has a color temperature of 5,000 Kelvin. Citing the website lumens.com, the color temperature higher than 3,500 Kelvin are typically used for commercial and hospital applications. And here we are at 5,000 Kelvin. This is commercial lighting in a residential area, which on Amazon has made easily available to consumers. So if you don't mind, I'd like to share some pictures with the council. Okay?
Sure, absolutely.
If you want to pass those around. So when I contacted my neighbor to get it done, the discussion was no illuminating. At one point in the conversation, my neighbor explained, "What do you want me to do? This model is only 1,000 watts, and it's a safety issue." My neighbor adjusted the angle of the light to make it less intrusive, but my neighbor still has a lighting equivalent to a state prison. And the light from my neighbor's home still illuminates the interior of my house, especially in my living room. And you might say, what are some blinds and curtains, which I have, but my living room was a place of peace and quiet. In the early morning, my wife and I would chat for a cup of coffee, watching the sunlight before starting our bed. I'm sure when the nicer weather comes, I want to open my windows and pull in and allow the local breeze into my home. I can't do that with my neighbor's light on. We're forced to keep the curtains closed and dust free on. So to the point where I'm lying here. I'm about to embark on some new territory for me. I'm going to file a complaint against my neighbor with the town, something I've never done to a neighbor before. In the permanently turned off. But though I think I need some help from the council, and maybe some guidance. In looking at our town ordinance, for lighting, the ways that we pay our town wasn't limited. In my opinion, the ordinance needs to be amended to reflect the advances in LED lighting. If I have this correct, our ordinance 97/2120 states that any outdoor lighting shall be adequately shielded and erected away from adjoining properties. And in this case, the light is directed downward from my neighbor's home, but it's mounted 30 feet in the air. And so it emits a wide casted beam. There are no statements in our ordinance regarding the height at which light can be mounted, light projecting off the property, temperature level, lumen, and use of commercial grade lighting in the residential area. There are also no mentions of fines, which are found in ordinances in other towns. So here we ask the council to review the ordinance and, if possible, amend it to include some of these factors. In researching the issue of light pollution online, and many towns in New Jersey are facing the same issue. You might be aware of in 2022 there was an article covered in two New Jersey websites for an issue of infrastructure. Brick has a new ordinance which bans artificial lighting that reflects on adjoining or public streets. I could also mention ordinances in Long Branch and Ocean. I won't get into that right now. I can share with you the document I have. Again, I'm going to file a complaint this week. I really don't have the support of the ordinance, so I appreciate any guidance or any guidance you guys can have on that. Thank you.
Well, what we're gonna do first, we'll have our, building inspector go out to the resident. And she just, check it all out and everything. We'll try to make them go there at night, because to go do it in daytime, it's not worth it. So, we'll let our gentleman Joe go out there and, review everything and then get back to us. I mean, I don't know, I can't tell you what to do, but why don't you let Joe go out first and hold off before you put a formal complaint in to see, because maybe he'll go out there and talk to them and something could be done. If at that point nothing could be done, we will discuss this at our meetings about what the ordinances as you looked at. Our administrator's been looking at our ordinance while you're talking, and we'll look at other ordinances. But we will send Joe out first thing in the morning. We'll let him know about this, and we'll send Joe out.
Should I follow up?
You follow the date.
Now, just give me the address of the home. Do you know it?
I do. It's 34 John Dow.
Okay. We'll send Joe out there tomorrow evening, probably. Thank you. Anyone else?
I deliberately came up a second time to keep my topics separate. But as I come up here every year and I talk about the road being paved, I also inquire about a negotiation with the rec baseball team and Borough Park for that rec program to use that property with other sports. And I understand this year it's up for renegotiation. What is the town going to do with that property? Is that going to be renegotiated, or has that been renegotiated for $1 with the baseball rec team?
Yeah, so nothing has been renegotiated yet. One of our plans since I came here is to try and get a better grasp of all the different organizations, their usage, field time, everything. So I've been working with Matthew in administration, and we're trying to come up with a schedule. We're working with Councilman Martinello also to address all these issues, kind of get everyone at the table together at some point and kind of talk through some of this and come up with different scheduling options, field permits, things like that. So not necessarily specific to that, but just kind of overall, we want to get a handle on everything, kind of recreation and field time related.
So what I'm hearing is the goal is to set the example for opportunities for all children to play all sports in the town of Baltimore.
Yeah, from my perspective right now, it's kind of just doing some research, fact finding, seeing what the usage is, what the needs are, facility improvements, different upgrades, things like that. So kind of just the whole picture first, and then we'll try and zero in on what you're talking about specifically.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. I look forward to hearing the follow-up and giving the children the opportunity. Thank you.
And sir, just to your first point, I did confirm with our application, it's the entire road of Hudson, cul-de-sac to the west end.
Awesome, thank you.
Anyone else? Not, do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Mike, second by Katie, all those in favor? All those opposed?